Thank you for joining us for Hidden Treasures on the Indiana Room website. We wanted to show you some of our favorite things that we have available on our website. So join us as we take a little tour. When you go to the library's website at plainfieldlibrary.net, under Services and Collections, you're going to pop over here to the left and click on Genealogy Databases. That will take you to the Indiana Rooms page specifically, and if you roll down, you're going to see some gray bars. These gray bars expand and show you additional resources. So we're going to start our tour with the genealogy databases. The library subscribes to 6 national databases, including Ancestry Library Edition, Fold 3, Newspaper Archive Indiana version, Newspapers.com Indiana version, Find My Past, and Indianapolis Star Historic Newspapers. These databases can be used in the library, but some of them can be used at home as well. So you'll look for whether or not the database can be accessed only in the library or if you can try it from home with your valid Plainfield library card. If you scroll down, you'll notice that we have some other databases ready for you to use, and these are completely free. We have Hendricks County Obituaries, Hendricks County Cemeteries, Hendricks County Photographs. Those are ones that we have created ourselves here at the Plainfield Library, and they are available for you to use for free. The bottom 2 resources that we have, Indiana Memory and Family Search, those are also free. Family Search is a website that is similar to Ancestry, only this one is run by the Family History Library in Salt Lake City. So Family Search has a tremendous amount of resources for doing family history and genealogy. It is free. They only require that you create an account, but once you do that, you're in and you can search millions of records that they have available. Indiana Memory is Indiana's digital library. This is a free collection of digitized primary sources from institutions all across the state of Indiana. One of the really cool things about Indiana Memory is you can see what other libraries have just by clicking. They also hold a really robust collection of photographs too. So if you're looking for pictures that are from across the state of Indiana, that is your place to go. So that is a little tour of our genealogy databases.
The second gray bar here is Hendricks County Indexes and Records. These are mostly indexes having to do with the library here, although there are a few items that go off-site as well. One thing that is particularly highlighted here are schools. We've got quite a bit of school information here. And yearbooks. We've been indexing yearbooks in Hendricks County. That's an ongoing project. It's also a good place for some marriage certificates that we've scanned and marriage records and maps. A couple things I really want to highlight though include our archive collection. And you can use this. This indexes all the items in our actual archives here at the library. You want to use Control F once you open that up, and you can type in anything you're looking for. I've used Ernest Cooper, a doctor from early 20th century Plainfield. You just do Control F and type it in and hit enter, and it will find anywhere whatever you're looking for. For instance, Ernest Cooper shows up, and you can go back up the index and it will show you what box it's in, and you can ask us to find it for you. Another great thing here is our newspaper and biography database. We have indexed our newspapers from the late 1800s to about 1970, again using Ernest Cooper. You'll see that it will list what the article is, the newspaper, the date, and the page and column even, so that we can get you the newspaper article. We have cemetery records, divorce records for Hendricks County. Divorce records are really hard to find on Ancestry. So if you think someone that you're researching might have gotten divorced in Hendricks County, this is a great place to look. We've got mental illness records, people who were sent to Indiana Central State Hospital. And this is a really great place for Hendricks County government records. We have a link to the archives from the Government Center, which are really helpful. They've been scanned. It's a very robust site. Assessor's documents. The auditor's documents are especially helpful for land research. And the treasurer's documents are especially helpful for tax research, tax records. So that's just some of the things in the Hendricks County indexes and records. Take your time and explore there. There's quite a bit there.
The next collection we want to highlight are the genealogy links. The genealogy links, when you expand, you will notice that we have them categorized. These are just websites that we use all of the time for doing research for family history or local history. And we thought it might be just easy for people to browse through here and see what you know and maybe what you don't know and find some resources. So as you can see, we start out generally on the left with United States resources. As you scroll down, we move to Indiana resources. This is where you would find the Indiana State Library, the Indiana State Archives, Indiana Memory is on here as well, the Indiana Genealogical Society. As you continue, we have Hendricks County records. The Hendricks County genealogy blog is something that is worth a look. Just various things that get posted on that, which is really a really nice, local resource. The Hendricks County Gen Web, so Hendricks County Genealogy. This has got Hendricks County specific resources. The Hendricks County Government Archives, this is definitely worth a look. This is what the Hendricks County government has digitized and made available to the public. It is fabulous. You'll find property records, assessor records, sheriff records, just you name it. Go down the government agency and you will find, actually we're going to click on it and I will show you what it looks like. Administrative records, court records, assessor, they have auditor documents, civil order books, divorce cases, probate court. This is where you can find deeds and wills and probate estate. Just a really rich resource, so don't forget to look for that. If we scroll back up, I'll just go down these quickly, where you can find digitized books, where you can find cemetery records. A lot of information on DNA testing, some of the sites that offer that and how you can interpret your DNA results. If you need forms, there's fillable form records and websites that you can check. Immigration, maps, really great collection of map websites that you can check out. Military resources. We scroll back up, there are where you can find newspapers. If the databases the library subscribes to don't work for you, try these other resources and see if you can find digitized newspapers. We have a little collection of miscellaneous sites, including things like Jewish genealogy, if you're interested in that. The Legal Genealogist, who is maintained by Judy Russell. She's fabulous, so if you have any legal genealogy questions, she's your go-to lady. Native American, copyright information. And then if you continue on, we just added some state sites, just in case you're interested, some of the ones that fed into Indiana. So there's Illinois, Kentucky, Michigan, North Carolina, Ohio, just some of their state sites. And then down below are international sites. So that's a little peek into our genealogy links.
Next we have Indiana Links. These will take you to resources regarding the state of Indiana. As you can see, we've got agricultural, arts in Indiana, health and medical. This is where you can get information on the insurance programs, long-term care facilities, Medicaid. You can also get public records, Hispanic resources, business and industry, real estate, history. There's a lot of societies in Indiana, and you'll get links to all of them here. Also links to all the museums, links to the recreation and tourism sites here, Indiana Beach, festivals, all of that. You can also get legal information here. We also have forms, legal forms and information. We get lots of requests for those. So if you go through here, you can see that we've got most of them available for you. Employment, unemployment, that's where you're going to, we've got connections to filing your unemployment. Also connections for career assistance. We've got all the government links here. Voting links, you can register to vote, you can find your poll. You can also get nonpartisan voting information. Also important, you can get tax forms here. As you know, the libraries are not getting tax forms anymore, so you'll have to get your own. And this is where you can get that information in those forms. Libraries, music, just regular miscellaneous Indiana ghost trackers. You can find a ghost tracker link here. And also maps, Indiana maps. So these are just some Indiana resources that are really interesting, and you should check them out. Next up is Hendricks County Links. This is where you're going to find information regarding Hendricks County. Pretty much run the gamut. Got everything up here. The animal shelters, schools, parks and recreation. There's assistance, Hendricks County. This is when you need monetary assistance, thrift shop, food pantries, that kind of thing. Environment and recycling. If you need information about trash, there's Raise Trash right there. Senior services. As you know, we've got a robust senior services program here in Danville. You could find all the government information, town websites, utility websites, chambers of commerce. Here's some history links. You can find more in the other sections, but these are just some general county information. One thing we use a lot here is the Hendricks County Land and Property GIS search. And you can go to the property search, type in the name of the property, and you'll get information about whatever property you're looking for. Owners, how much it's worth, that kind of thing. That's really interesting and very useful. Libraries, voting information, and newspapers. So if you need to know something about Hendricks County, if you need a link, you most likely will find it here. We love our photograph databases. We've spoken about the photograph collection database previously, but just to reiterate, when you search for a particular photograph, your best bet is to search in the description bar. Unless you know the subject terms, it would probably be difficult to find what you're looking for. So say if you're looking for a picture that you know has a dog in it, but you can't remember anything else about it, you can put dog. And anything that's got a dog in the description will come up. So if I put in Barlow, everything that has Barlow in the description will come up. So that's the best way to use that photograph database. We have lots of Plainfield school pictures. We've got the elementary class pictures from 1960 to 1974. See, there's East Grade School, 1967, 1968, grade 2. We also have the class photos for the high school from 1922 to 1964. And these are just the years. We have the yearbooks from 1951 to 2018 from Plainfield. We have all of those digitized, and that's really cool. And go, say, if you want to see the yearbook from 1980, click on it, and it will load, and you can go through it and look at it just as if you have it in your hands. And that's a really cool thing if you're going to go down memory lane. We also have an index to the class photos. So if you're looking for a specific person, say you're looking for Maurice Atkinson, he's in the 1927 class, so you can go back to the high school class photos, go to 1927, and there he is, Maurice Atkinson. There's also a link right here. Also, we have a subscription to Digital Indy. So this will give you photographs from Indianapolis Public Library. That's pretty neat. And we have the Mead Bryant Photo Collection Index. Bryant was a photographer here in Plainfield, and we inherited several of his several boxes of his proofs. And we've gone ahead and identified and labeled them and organized them. And if you're looking for someone specific, you can take a look at our index here just to see if we even have him. You can Control F and use only one name. So if you're looking for someone with the last name Cooper, there's 13. And I'll just hit the little arrows up here, and it'll take you to each Cooper it finds. Mead Bryant wasn't very good about labeling his proofs. Oftentimes he had just a last name, which many times was misspelled, and sometimes he just had the name of the payer. For instance, you could have a baby girl, and the name Paul Allison is on the envelope, and we're assuming that's the father. So, say you're looking for Anne Alloway. You can Control F, type in Alloway, and it brings you down to the Alloway it has. As you can see, there is a picture of an Anne Alloway, and she's a woman with long hair, and it was taken in 1968. So if you're looking for an Anne Alloway from the 30s, you're not going to find her. So the last name and the first name are the names of the people who are identified in the photograph. If they're not identified, then the person who paid for it is identified. So, you know, it gives you a little bit of information about each picture that we have, and so if you need any assistance on this, let us know. We're always here to help.
Finally, we have some special collections in the Indiana Room Archives that we have highlighted here. We have scanned in Civil War letters of John Mills. And if you click on them, you'll see a little description of who John Mills was and a photograph of him. And then you can click on each letter and see the actual letter. So here's a July 3rd, 1864 letter from Marietta, Georgia. And you can see his actual letter and read it. So we're pretty proud of the Civil War collection we have. We also have marriage certificates, probate packets, which the Indiana Genealogical Society has scanned and hosts. And they're very good for genealogy research. You just click on that and click Access the Hendricks County Probate Files. And you can go down and they're listed by last name and then first name. Click on whichever one. It will tell you a little bit about it, and it will include every piece of documentation of their probate. Another great collection we have are some house and property history files for the local area. It's not very extensive, but we do have some interesting properties that we have some information on. One we get a lot of questions about is the Thomas Little house west of town. You can click on that, get photographs, architectural plans that we have in our archives, some old plat maps, some information about him from our history of Hendricks County, and some other things like that. And finally, We have some great coroner inquests in our archive collection. This is an index. We actually have the whole file for each of these people that you can request. These run from the late 1800s through the early 1900s. One thing we've discovered, it was very common in an inquest to be killed by a train back then. So there's some great stuff that we have collections of specifically that you can access right here online.